Jules, well, let's roll on now to the central midfielders.
Yes.
I know you've got a bone to pick here.
More than one, actually.
You have an issue with number 1, Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I
You
do.
think RODRI should be?
Yeah,
ahead
I
of
think
him.
RODRI, who's our number 2, should be number 1. I'm really sorry. I love Jude Bellingham, the talent, the youth, the future, anything you want, the versatility, what such a great all-rounder he is. But right now, nobody, no manager, no one would not pick RODRI ahead of Jude Bellingham.
Okay, I can tell you that I would pick Jude Bellingham ahead of RODRI. Yes, because Jude Bellingham can do many more things that RODRI can't do. But
what RODRI does, he does it better than Jude Bellingham.
What? Pretend he's Busquets? Meh.
He does. He does.
Let's bring in Mark Ogden for this. Mark, first of all, at number 1, Bellingham or RODRI? Or would you say PEDRI?
No, I'm with Jules on this. I think RODRI because
You're both wrong.
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know, we have to judge on the season they just had. And
no, we don't judge. Sorry, you know the criteria.
Yeah, and look, the criteria also, you have to have the players in form. It's not about predicting the future and looking at the past. I think we also have to give weighting to the fact that players right now in form, this season they just had. And Bellingham's had a good season at Dortmund, but he wasn't the decisive player. They blew the Bundesliga, so he wasn't the guy that took him over the line. You know, RODRI maybe did that with Man City. And I also think...
Right, because RODRI's surrounded by terrible players, whereas Bellingham, you know...
Bellingham doesn't have a bad team around him.
I think
Gundogan's a better team. You want to go there? You want to go there?
No, but still.
Okay. All right, so you're with RODRI. There's another City guy on here, which is part of the absurdity of the whole City multiplier effect, who some people might say, like, honestly, this is the absurdity with RODRI, but it shows you how loaded City are and whether it's Pep, it's the effect of the team.
Yeah.
Some people might say that this person was Manchester City's decisive midfielder this season, even among midfielders, and that is Ilkay Gundogan. He's at 4. In attacking midfielders, we had a number 1. We had Kevin De Bruyne, who I think is probably their most gifted player all round. I mean, to me, this speaks volumes. Is Gundogan at 4? Does that make sense to you? Is that right, Mark?
No, I don't add him higher up. You know, and I know you don't want to base it on too much on what happened in the last few months, but I think he's at the peak of his career. He's had an amazing season, a decisive season. So I think I would put Gundogan a bit high. I think Bellingham, I think he is the talent that is going to be the best midfielder in the world for the next 10 years, but he's not quite there yet, I don't think. And I think I would put Gundogan a bit higher up. I have got a few other issues about this list as well, by the way. I do think.
Oh, let's hear them.
Well, I think CASEMIRO's too high. I think CASEMIRO's lucky to be.
No, come on.
No, I think he is. I think, look, at the end of last season, as good as he was for United at times, you let them down by the fact his disciplinary record was poor. You have to be able to control your disciplinary record. He missed so many games through injury, through suspension. And I think as well, Alexis McAllister a bit ahead of Enzo Fernandez. Declan Rice is, you know, going to be potentially £100 million midfielder.
Yeah, Rice should be in the list.
So I think
Enzo.
Yeah,
debatable. But I agree with Oggy. I think Rice should be there, even ahead of Bruno Guimaraes. There's no way Bruno Guimaraes should be there if Enzo and Rice on there.
Hey, don't look at me. I had both Enzo and Declan
me too.
Rice
I had
in
them
the
in my
list.
list, but I know.
I think I had them in 9 and 10.
Had a good time at Chelsea. We know that, but he still had a great World Cup, and I think he's a great.
Yeah, but we're not judging. But we need to get out of this. He had a great World Cup.
No, but the World Cup shows you that in the big games when it matters the most, he stepped up. We're not telling you to look at the World Cup and what happened. Just that when it matters, when the game was a step up, he stepped up, being really young and at the time still playing for Benfica.
I'll tell you what. I would have had Joshua Kimmich. I would have had him higher. And again, didn't have the best season, but when you talk about leadership, when you talk about technical ability, when you talk about everything he brings to the table, for me, it's an absurdity that Kimmich is at 8 and Gundogan is at 4, for example, because I think if Kimmich had played for Man City, all those same things Goggy's saying about Gundogan, he would have been saying about Kimmich.
Yeah, you're very right. But he doesn't play for Man City, he plays for Bayern Munich, and that also has to come in consideration. And Luka Modric at 5, it's probably because of everything that he also did before, or we should have over 35 FC 100.
I think Messi might be number 1. Oh, no, Cristiano, sorry.
Yeah, Cristiano.
Actually, let's not express an opinion on that because we don't want to get trolled on that one. Mark Ogden, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.